Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. I know I haven't had a live in 2023, so Happy New Year. I haven't wished you Happy New Year again. And I'm glad to have you guys on the live. Today I want to talk about 3 things, and I hope this 3 things is going to be helpful to you. If you're listening in today and you have goals for 2023, I hope you get some benefit from this. A lot of people try to set goals and they don't achieve the goals because of how they set the goals. Years ago, I didn't know how to set goals. I usually used to say that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And most of the time when the year comes to an end, I've achieved absolutely nothing. And one of the reasons that I wasn't achieving any of my goals was because I was setting it wrong. And I've realized that there are certain components when you don't add it to the things that you're doing, it usually doesn't pan out right. So today I'm going to speak about 3 things. So let's just go right into it. So 3 secrets that can help you to achieve your goals in 2023. Guys, if you are listening to this live, please take a pen and paper and write some of these things down because it can be a game changer for you. Most of the time, we don't get the right information, so we operate on a broken system and we usually don't get the results we want, and we get frustrated and wonder why we don't get the things that we want to get. I'm going to talk about alphabets. Who remember when they were in school, when they were in like nursery school, we have A, B, C. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is, who can see my board? Is this word right here. The word is ambition. And according to the dictionary, ambition is a strong desire, determination to achieve. A strong desire and determination. This is why you should never choose professions and things that actually doesn't give you passion to do something, because if it's not strong, you'll find a way to talk yourself out. If the desire is not strong enough, you as a person is always going to find a way to talk yourself out. The thing has to be strong to the point that you're going to go against the odds and still do it. If it's hard, you do it hard. You have to find a way to get it done. So we as people, we need to be able to find something that is so important to us, and we put our heart, our soul, our mind, our everything into it, or else we're not going to do it. The second thing I'm going to talk about besides ambition is something called, I know you're reading it backwards, but I'm sure you see what I'm trying to say, is belief. You as a person, right, if you don't believe in yourself, in 2023, if you don't believe in yourself, you have nobody to blame, because you as a person should believe in yourself more than any other person. And the belief comes from your sense of self-awareness, knowing who you are, understanding your strength, your gifts, the things that you can do, and applying it to your life. Nobody's come to save you. I'm sure you've seen the TikToks and you've seen the Instagram reel videos. If you're just setting goals for the sake of setting goals, your chances of you achieving it is going to be very low. They say belief. Belief is trust, faith, confidence in something or someone. We have belief in God. We have belief in, when we are young, in our parents. We have belief in, our teachers, whoever it is. But we have to have a strong sense of confidence in something or someone. Trust and faith. Because without it, we cannot take a leap and do the things that we need to do. And the third thing, and I think the most important thing, somebody said this, I've forgotten her name. She said the last thing is what? Commitment. Yeah, it doesn't matter the goal you set in 2023. If you don't have these 3 components, forget it. Just forget it. Just throw it in the towel and don't do anything about it, because you have, as a person, you have to be ambitious about what you're going for, and it should be something that is above what you've normally done. If you've not even made your first 100K, there's nothing wrong with you shooting and going beyond that. So let's say, I always tell people that if you're trying to even make $100,000 a year, you don't aim to make $100,000. You try and aim to make $500,000 because of expenses and things that are attached to it. But if you don't have an ambition to be able to do the thing, you will never get started, because your ambition is going to affect your self-belief and what you think is going to be done. When you say you're going to do something, let's say for instance, let's say you're going to go to medical school, you want to go back to medical school, you want to go back to school, and you tell certain friends of yours and they start telling you it's going to take you all these years, you can't do all these things. People are going to talk you out if you don't have a strong sense of belief here. Anything you're trying to do, there are people who know too much about you that are going to talk you out of it, and you have to be very, I'll use the word stubborn enough to be able to believe the thing you want to do and stick to it throughout the course. Commit. Most of the time when the year starts, people are excited. They have goals, they have visions, they have things that they want to do. But guess what? They don't do anything about it. Why? Because they say talk is cheap. Number one, you as a person, you don't even believe you are the person to pull it off. You say it is nice. You want to buy a new car, you want to buy a new house, you want to get married, you want to do a number of different things. But it's easy to say talk is cheap. but actions are expensive. The action is right here. This is the foundation. Maybe if I'm drawing a foundational block, commitment is going to be the foundational block because it's the foundation in which you build anything. It doesn't matter how bad you're at something or whether you suck at something or not. As long as you commit and you take action, you are going to start seeing some results. And based on that result, it's going to help you fine tune it and get it to a better state. So for instance, if you want to start writing and you are bad at writing, the more you do it, the more you commit to it, the better you get at it and the more you learn. Nobody wants to start because nobody wants to start from the bottom. Because when you start anything for the first time, like riding a bike, you know very little about it. So you're not going to be that great at it. And most people don't want to start something because they feel like they're not going to be great at it. So they don't do it at all. I want you to be the person in 2023 that you decide you're going to do something and you commit. You commit to the thing. And the second part I talked about was belief. This is a tricky one. You see, when you're going to believe about something, also be self-aware about your strengths and your weaknesses. I've seen somebody says, I'm glad I joined this. It's me every year, king of procrastination. Don't call yourself stuff like that. I know you are saying this as a joke, but the words we say with our mouth have power. Don't say that. A friend of mine was speaking to the other day. She said that, oh, I can't afford something. I got upset because I know she couldn't afford certain things, but the fact that she said it with her mouth, that she can't afford the thing, your brain closes when you speak in a certain way. But when you rephrase it and you say, how can I afford it? How can I do this? How can I get this? You start finding creative ways to get answers. In 2023, start speaking to yourself differently. Don't speak to yourself the way you spoke to yourself in 2022. Don't even, based on it doesn't matter what is in your bank account. It doesn't matter whether you know somebody or not. You see, there's a powerful thing in this world. It's called attraction. When you become something and you start, having that energy around you, you start attracting the right people to get you to the destination you want to get to. So even don't tell yourself king of procrastination. If you realize that you're that type of person, first take a pause, assess why. Most of the time, people don't do it because of B. They don't believe in the thing enough. Because if I guaranteed you that if you did this action consistently from now to maybe the next 6 months, I will give you $1 million. It doesn't matter. The chances of you doing it is going to be very high because of you are strong in your belief. You know that you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. But a lot of times, people do not even take the action because they don't believe in themselves. A lot of people's opinions about themselves is all about what people have told them. You are this, you are that, you are this. But you see, somebody's opinion about you should never define your life. This thing called life, you have a responsibility for yourself to create the life you want. The pen and the paper is in your hand. You have the choice to be able to do the thing that you need to do, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. Be careful the words you say, be careful the people you keep around, and be careful the actions you take. Because at the end of the day, it all compounds on the level of your self-belief. If you don't believe yourself enough, you're going to buy other people's beliefs. And usually people don't have like big, bold beliefs that can help you to get to where you want to get to. Especially when you have friends and stuff. All they've known is the past, and what they usually remember is the bad stuff you did or how you had some L in your life. Nobody is really helping you to level up. It's your responsibility fully to build this up. Self-belief, you have to be able to also know yourself and do something called a self-assessment and find out your strengths. I've said this over and over again. I'm going to share it here again. Every single person that you are born, you are a success because God has never created a failure. As long as you are alive, you are seeing this, you are a success. Like, there's a reason you are still alive. There's a reason you are still here. There are certain things you need to do. Your work is to figure out your gifts, nurture them, cultivate them, and turn it into something valuable to society. That's your work. Your work is not to be trying to be like LeBron James. Your work is not trying to be like Michael Jackson. Your work is not trying to be Steve Jobs. Your work is to be able to be the best version of you. Because once you become the best version of yourself, your self-belief is going to start going through the roof. Like, nobody would be able to tell you certain things because you understand who you are and you understand how you operate. And once your self-belief is up and you start getting results, it's going to fall it back and you are going to be more committed to the thing you're doing. Simple things like maybe posting. Some of you have businesses and stuff. You don't even post on social media. And you are thinking, how do you get the word about your business out? You don't have the money to run ads. But what about the small things that you can do? Are you even doing it? There's small things. If you're watching this right now, you have internet. You're watching this right now, you have a cell phone. How do people learn about you and your business and what you do if you don't put it out there? Somebody say, how do you figure out your gift? Okay, let me tell you how you figure out your gift. Number one, do an audit on yourself. Go, if you're on Instagram right now, pay attention to all the pages that you follow. All the pages. If you follow comedy pages, if you follow football pages, if you follow all these different, go and do an assessment on where do you usually spend your time and money. If you really want to know yourself, just pay attention to where you spend a lot of your time and money when nobody is pressurizing you to do it. There's one thing when somebody's pressurizing you to do something, and there's another thing when you just do it by yourself. So sit there and just assess yourself. What is the one thing that my friends usually reach out to me about? Do people reach out to you when they need to write an essay and it's like, you are very good at writing, so I want you to write all my essays for me? Or if somebody wants to dress up, are you the person they call to dress? If somebody wants to get a recipe to cook a food, are they usually calling you? Assess, sit down and do a self-assessment. One of the things you can do is just assess yourself on the number of things that people reach out to you for. Without you asking, they just reach out to you to say, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Pay attention to that. The number two thing you can do to figure out who you are or your self is ask people who are closest to you. Ask them, what is the thing that you think that if I do, you pay me money for? Maybe I'm probably doing this thing for free right now. Maybe I help people, I counsel people. Maybe I coach people. Maybe I'm good at football. Maybe I'm good at dancing. What is the one thing that you think that if I turn into a business, you pay me? And tell them that they should be just very honest with you. Some people are going to tell you, these are some of the basic ways, but if you don't have friends, you don't have people around you, don't audit on yourself. What kind of pages do you follow on Instagram? What kind of people do you try to be your friends? Are you always looking at decoration pages? Are you looking at renovation house? It's like, what is your thing? Because nobody can answer that question for you besides yourself. No one. I can come here and go on and on. What if it's hard to identify just one thing? This is a great question, and let me tell you why. If you have multiple gifts, just pick one and go. Don't overthink it. Because over a period of time, the thing that you are doing is going to evolve and change. So once you have certain things that you just identify, it's like, oh, this is one thing that I'm actually good at, but I have like 4 other things I'm good at. Sit and assess. The one thing that keeps a lot of people from doing anything is overthinking, procrastination. I put in my post today, perfectionist. Like, they want to have it so perfect. Till today, I can tell you my business is not perfect. And all the people I do business with, none of them have a perfect business. But we still do it. We've made tons of money. We've been able to impact so many lives. Why? Because we are not waiting for our gifts to be super perfect before we put it out. We put it out, we get feedback, and we refine it. So let me not digress from what I was sharing with you today. The most important thing to pay attention in 2023 is, how ambitious are you about the thing you want? Are you just saying it because you kind of want it? Or you're just saying it for, same reasons. Number 2, do you know who you are? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you are the person who can achieve the thing? And number 3, are you ready to stay committed in 2023? Because anything you're going to do, it will require a certain level of commitment. If you're not committed at a high level, you're not going to be able to achieve it. That is just hands down. So those are the 3 things I have for you today. If you have any questions, make sure you shoot, and I'll be more than happy to answer. So guys, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you got some value from this. It's supposed to be a short live. A is for ambition, B is for belief, and C is for commitment. These are the 3 pillars you should use for 2023, irrespective of what you're doing. Be ambitious, like whatever goal you have, multiplied by 10, multiplied by 50. Make sure you take it to the next level. Believe in yourself. Find means and ways to assess yourself so you can increase your level of belief. You're welcome, Priska. And number 3, make sure you are consistent. Even when you start and you don't have any results, you are not getting anything out of it. It's like you're watching a seed you just recently planted. You might not see it sprout from the ground, but it's there. It's going to germinate as long as you keep on pouring your water on top of it. Do you have to set realistic goals? You see, the thing about setting realistic goals is all dependent on you. Most of my goals, and not the goals I posted today, because my goals are way above that, but most of the time when I share my goals with people, I feel like they get uncomfortable. So sometimes I don't. But realistic goals has to do with what you think is realistic. It has nothing to do. The fact that nobody has done it in your family doesn't mean you're not going to be the first person to do it. In everybody's family, it takes one person to change the whole family to become a millionaire, a billionaire. Like, it's just one person. And most of the time when you start out, people tell you it can't be done. It's up to you. That's why you have to have a strong level of belief. Belief. Anybody who has done anything, you have to believe in yourself. Somebody say, would you advise a Ghanaian to relocate back home to start a business? It's all in your level of ambition. Whatever you believe you can do. If you believe back home is for you, fine. If you believe you're an American, it's great for you, fine. You have to assess yourself and ask yourself this question. The actions you're looking to take, if you try and project into the future from 20 years from now, what would be great for you? Would you be happy to be back home having a business, or you want to have a business over here? What kind of business do you have? What people do you want to be able to influence? Because at the end of the day, nobody is qualified enough to fully understand what you want, to tell you should do this or you shouldn't do this. You should be able to make that decision by yourself. And don't be apologetic about it. As long as you're not hurting people, as long as you are trying to make a difference, you'll be misunderstood. But don't try and explain yourself to everybody, because even me, sometimes maybe you explain to me, I might not understand, but it doesn't mean you're wrong. You might be right. It's all about your level of ambition, your belief, and your commitment. Do you advise? Okay, so I think I've answered. You're welcome. I've seen thank you, set realistic goals. Okay, I think I've answered a number of your questions, and I think we're done now. So thank you so much for joining me on this live. I hope I'll have another one soon. I hope you got some value from this. See you later. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Happy New Year. Stay blessed. Bye for now.